السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ممكن توفيق chair next for Dr. Hassan here, please? You want to have him say a couple of words? Yeah, just another chair, please. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وفي الآخرين وفي الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Do we have to have the flowers? Just it's artificial anyways. So we know we have dinner tonight and we're very excited, but you know, I have a dear brother I love for the sake of Allah, I think all the issues that we have, it can be resolved if we manage to do this, if we can take the whole community together to Hajj and we go and perform Hajj together. I'm telling you, you don't know what Hajj does when you perform Hajj together. You know, this is why I have this bond with this brother. Hajj is a place where if you want to bond with somebody, inshallah. I know you have dinner tonight, so we're going to make this quick. We're not going to take a lot of time. But a lot of you may have met Dr. Hassan Salah before. MashaAllah, he has his own, community there in Vineland. That's the name, right? Vineland. In the border with Philadelphia. And I visited them so many times, mashallah. And Dr. Hassan actually came and visited me in Colorado the last couple of weeks. He was there helping us out with the fundraising. So inshallah, we're going to have him say a couple of words, whatever you feel like. Yeah, inshallah. And then I will address you, inshallah. If we can work on the microphone a little bit. Yeah, if we can fix it, inshallah. So whatever you feel like about brotherhood, we want to talk about brotherhood, about getting together and working out our differences, inshallah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna sayyidina wa nabiyyana Muhammadan abduhu wa rasulullah. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ala sahbihi wa ala man tabi'a bi ihsan ila yawm al-din. Amma ba'd, I thank Brother Shaikh Karim to allow me this good opportunity to say a couple of words, just a couple of words, that I'm so happy to be back here. I've been here for almost a year to see the beautiful faces I have been with before, and we're all, alhamdulillah, brothers in Islam. This masjid is my masjid, Bailam Masjid is your masjid. Actually, all these masajid, the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is our houses. And we are as ibadullah, then we are the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are all our masjid. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, verily the masjids are the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're not calling on any other entity, any other deity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the masjid. Starting there, we have to recognize these masajid as being ours. So there's nothing worse than somebody say, this is my masjid, this is your masjid, and this is start of a separation among the believers, branding believers of affiliation, different affiliation, which is not good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us brothers, and He is the one who brought us together from everywhere, from every color, every race. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم هو الذي ألف بين قلوبهم لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم ولكن الله ألف بينهم. Speaking to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who brought us together on the heart of one man. And He told Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you were to spend every penny in this land, everything in this land, you wouldn't be able to bring them together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought them together. And this is the bottom line. And just remember that our power is not in money, our power is not in authority, our power is our existence together. And this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها النبي إن حسبك الله ومن اتبعك من المؤمنين, that Allah is sufficient for him, but the believers are also very, very important as a power for him. The believers are the asbab that you see, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is behind these asbab, behind the means. So the means will bring us together. We try our best and we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from every fitna. This is the good news that I wanted to give you before I turn the mic to Shaykh, brother Dr. Karim. We had a big victory in Vineland in the federal court a couple of days ago.
Allahu Akbar.
The federal court, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The federal court dismissed a federal case that the city of Vineland filed against the Environmental Protection Agency of New Jersey for not backing them up in their decision to hold our project. And the state of New Jersey filed a motion of dismissal, our attorney did, and the federal court granted the dismissal of motion. Now the city of Vineland is cornered there. They are held responsible for what they have done to us, delaying us for over 5 years, and they came back and talked to our attorney 20 minutes after the decision, said, what do you guys want? Okay, they want to settle. They want to settle. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah give victory to every Muslim. And again, Vineland is your masjid. I see brothers, beautiful brothers come to pray with us. Just this morning, to tell you that we're one ummah. I have dear brother Bangora, Shaikh Karim knows him. He says, my imams in this that I follow are 3. I said, who's the first one? He said, Shaykh Karim Abuzaid is number 1.
Allahu Akbar. Allah musta'an.
Why? I said, why? He said, because he doesn't speak except of dalil. He doesn't say except, and then he said Mufti Mink number 2. And then he said somebody else, but this is the, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing to have Shaykh Karim here. And أحسبوا على خير, أحسبوا من طيبين, جزاكم الله خيرا. Without further delay, this is Shaykh Karim Abuzaid.
Jazakallah khairan, Dr. Hassan Salah. And by the way, they are talking about the school, not the masjid. They are trying to open the school, to operate the school, inshallah. طيب. My intention is, and I don't know if the microphone can be, fixed, is to present a story to you tonight. I want to be like an entertainer, more of an entertainer, because we have a lot of young men and possibly young sisters in the back. So possibly we can get the message across to them. And with that entertainment, I want to direct your attention to the common challenge which we have as a Muslim community living in the West. And the story is compiled في صحيح الإمام مسلم, حديث أبي يحيى صهيب الرومي رضي الله عنه. And subhanallah, this story, a lot of you know it. And they actually made a picture of it. They call it The Boy and the King. Who watched that picture, The Boy and the King? Nobody? There was a picture, cartoon, while you were little. You didn't watch that? The Boy and the King, no? Yeah. Which really, if you want to go home and review this, just open Ibn Kathir, تفسير سورة البروج. سورة البروج: والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود. The story begins with the scene of a sorcerer. And we know sorcery is using the unseen powers to have an advantage over the rest of the people. You simply communicate with the jinn, the disbelieving jinn, in order to work with you. We believe that. In order to harm people or attract people to a devious way of Islam, or have people disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what sorcery is. And pay attention here, jinn, the disbelieving jinn, will not serve you if you're a sorcerer unless you disbelieve. The only one we know the jinn was working for him without compromising his belief is who? Prophet Sulaiman. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala subdued the jinn to him. وَمِنَ الْجِنِّ مَنْ يَعْمَلُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ. So a sorcerer is a kafir. And not only by the way that you tell the jinni that I am a kafir. No, they want your kufr to be in action. Like they demand you to urinate, for example, on the mushaf. Or take the mushaf to the bathroom and step in the mushaf. You have to speak, actually disbelieve. And you have to serve their agenda to actually get people to disbelieve. So there was this sorcerer who was working for a king. Now the king somehow convinced the people that he is God. He is to be worshipped. With the help of the who? With the help of who? The sorcerer. Guess who's going to have this combination towards the end of time? He's going to be a sorcerer and he's going to demand people to worship him at the same time. Who? Who? Who said Dajjal? The Antichrist. Now, how the Antichrist is going to get to you and convince you that he is God? He uses the jinn. In multiple hadith that he would actually bring back to life your parents in a form. And they will speak to you, son, this is your God, worship him. He uses the jinn, deception, lies. And that's why, by the way, the Prophet ﷺ told us what to do when you know Dajjal is in town. What should you do? Don't go there, because he will get to you. Because of these powers, which Allah enabled him to have to test us. This king used to command the people to worship him, and he would show them his powers through the sorcerer and through jinn and the sorcery. Now, when did this story take place? When did the story take place? 300 to 400 years after Prophet Isa alayhi salam was raised up. Don't say died, because we don't believe Prophet Isa died, right? We believe that? Yeah. Don't say died, right? Huh? Don't say that. After he was raised up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, this king also issued a decree that whoever refuses to worship him he is to be executed. So all the believers, especially the learned of them, ran away to the desert and they built what we know monasteries or sanctuaries. That's why we call them monks. So they ran away and they stayed in these homes in the desert away from the people because they know if they get caught, they will be executed. So far, the sorcerer has been doing a great job. The sorcerer is getting very old and he's about to die. He comes to the king warning him, listen, I'm getting old, and if I die, the people will discover that you're a liar. You're not a true God. What can I do? I want children to teach them sorcery. And I will pick the best of them to be the chief sorcerer. So what you need to do is you bring me the children so I can teach them how to exercise sorcery. And out of them, I will choose the best boy who will lead. You see, that's where the focus is. Pay attention here. That's where the focus is. Of course, the king, being afraid that his dominion will vanish, if the sorcerer dies and his skills will be buried with him, right away he brought him the children to that sorcery school. Imagine the sorcery school, school of sorcery, school of mines, school of medicine, sorcery school, public school, public school. That's what our children learn in public school. What they learn? No God. That's what they learn. Your children go to the public schools to learn that you can live without God, because there is a separation between God and what you do. We're not interested in talking about God here. God doesn't exist here. You can't conduct your life without God. That's what they teach them, day in and day out. And then a lot of the parents expect their children, once they grow up and they teenage, that they're going to become shuyukh. When you have sent him for 15 years, 13 years, day in and day out. God doesn't exist, guy. By the way, you're a monkey and you became a... That's what they learn, day in and day out. So Dr. Hassan, give him some, please. Are we good so far? Yeah. I'm telling you, you guys are going to forget about dinner once the story is about to end here. All right? They tell me I'm a good storyteller. They tell me, I don't know. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't praise yourselves.
Actually, that's true. I mean,
I try.
you hear the story from... I heard one story from him for 17 years.
Yeah,
every time, every year in Hajj. Every time is different, and every time I enjoy it.
Jazakallah khair, barakallah feek. So the work is done. The kids are there. He selected this smart young boy and he said to him, you're going to come to me, learn sorcery from me. So this boy wakes up in the morning and he is walking towards the sorcery school to receive his sorcery lessons. He had to walk a long way. And subhanallah, as he's walking, he ended up hearing this Shaikh. And I'm sorry, I'm using terms that really are not in the hadith, but I'm trying to connect you with now. Imagine your son is waking up in the morning and going to the public school, and then he hears that Shaikh somewhere reciting Alif Lam Mim ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. الكلام هذا يا إخوة القرآن والسنة attraction for the intuition, for the fitra, especially with the kids. That's why they want your children, because they are the easiest to mold, to change, to brainwash, to brainstorm. They want them. So this young boy became so attracted to this voice, he followed the voice and he found the Shaikh. He's not a Shaikh, right? He's a monk, but he found this Imam hiding somewhere and he's reading the revelation. Who are you? And what are you doing here? Shh! Don't tell anybody about me, please, because if they find out about me, this guy, I don't believe he is God. There is God. And what are you reading? This is the revelation. It's the first time I hear this stuff, you know. He sat with him for a long time. He forgot about sorcery. The Shaykh was so attractive in his explanation that the boy forgot that he had an appointment. Oh, he woke up and he said, man, I'm late for my sorcery lesson. So he started rushing. When he arrived, he found a very angry and upset sorcerer. Why are you late? He flogged him. He beaten him up. And he said, you know what? Not because you're late, you're going to be released early. You're going to stay the same amount of time you're supposed to stay for the lesson. So he ended up going home after midnight. Guess who was looking for him? Because they didn't have text messaging at the time. Daddy, I'm late. No, they didn't have that. His father went crazy that my son, it's almost midnight and he's not here. When he arrived home, he beat him up again. He got beaten up what? Do you think this boy will go back to the Shaykh? I'm asking you.
No.
You know he did. That tells you that the Shaykh was so good. The masjid was so accommodating. The masjid was an attraction. You see, and that's the message that I really gotta send to you here. You know, it's so depressing when our children cannot have fun in our masajid, you see, if we're going to live in America and if we're going to protect the identity and the religion of our children, they have to feel this way about the masjid. Imagine this boy was beaten up twice. No one in his sound mind will go back. He still went back because he liked it. He liked the Imam. He liked the Shaykh. He liked the masjid. He liked the environment. You see, he didn't go and say, oh, these guys fight all the time, I'm not going to go back there. No, he didn't say that. You see, these guys are they are not accommodating us. They yell at us. No. You see, you're competing with another system out there, wealthy. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of attraction. So he came back to the Shaykh. I said, listen, I really enjoy learning, but I got beaten up twice. Then he said to him, listen, we are now at a time of war. You could actually, first of all, you don't have to stay that long, stay a shorter time. And if you're a little bit late, just say, my father did it, and, So he got him out of trouble. Imagine, brothers and sisters in Islam, and this is for your information, the condition of your children and my children. This boy every day is learning how to believe in Allah and how to disbelieve in Allah. Wallahi, this is what your children are going through. And they get the other half, whether you like it or not. There's something called now Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. Google, they will get it. They will get it in school. They will get it in the street. They will get it in the Yahoo. They will get it in the Facebook. They are getting the kufr 100%. They are getting the wickedness 100%. Your children know. No. Wallahi, I have a 5 years old. He holds that phone like he was trained in the womb of the mother how to deal with it. The way that sometimes he shows me things that I don't know how to do them. And I don't know how did he learn that. Now, if you want to make your child happy, I tell my son, if you finish Surah Al-Takwir, I'm going to give you the phone for 5 minutes. The surah is done. And if I want him to memorize it without the phone, maybe a couple of hours, yelling back and forth. So they are getting that part. Why are you, as a parent, depriving them from the truth? Why are you, as a community, depriving them from hearing the other side of the story? That's what we're doing. Now listen, we're graying. I'm actually dyeing my hair. This is all gray. We can't do whole a lot now. If there is a hope for this ummah, is in the next generation, not in us. And that's how the change happens. If there is a change that is going to take place in the next ummah, is the next generation. This ummah is the next generation, is the children. And this is the common challenge which we have, which we must rise above all our differences to deal with it as a Muslim community. So, subhanAllah, this little boy, this young man, every day learning how to disbelieve in Allah and how to believe in Allah. Those two cannot sit in one heart, and that's really, the hope that we have, that if you instill in your children at least the foundation of Islam, the foundation of Iman, one day, they will figure it out. So this boy, one day he's walking and he's talking to himself and saying, man, those are two different things. This guy is teaching me how to use the powers of the jinn, how to associate others in worship with Allah. And this guy is telling me the power is in the hands of Allah. And if you want it, call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which way to go? I'm confused. I don't know which way to go. Those two cannot be together. Subhanallah, that's where Allah guides. For the people to go about their work, they would need to cross over a bridge. A lion came and sat on that bridge, so they could not go about their work. Now the king has to solve the problem. He called upon who? The sorcerer. Come on, I'm the God. I'm supposed to take care of this stuff. Oh, I trained this guy. This guy has been already in my sorcery school. He should take care of that. But the boy, subhanallah, had a different agenda. So he was called to take care of that lion so the people can go about their business. But in his way out there, he said to himself, Al-yawma, today, I will find out. أَأَمْرُ الرَّاهِبِ أَحَبُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَمْ أَمْرُ السَّاحِرِ. Which one Allah loves most? What the Shaykh is teaching me or what the sorcerer is teaching me? Remember now, the sorcerer assumed that he will use sorcery. He will use the jinn to get rid of this lion. But he said, no, I'm going to call upon Allah. He raised his hand up and he made this dua, ya ikhwan. Allahumma, O Allah, إن كان أمر الراهب أحب إليك من أمر الساحر. If what the Shaykh has been teaching me is the truth and you love it more than what the sorcerer has been teaching me, and he grabbed a pebble, a small rock, فَاقْتُلْ هَذِهِ الدَّابَّةِ, kill that lion with this rock. Show me a sign, basically. Say Salat al-Istikhara كده. Show me the way. You know, when you seek guidance from Allah, Allah will give it to you when you receive. Subhanallah, he killed that lion with that rock. Imagine this. At this time, he knew. He said, now I'm going to give my life for this. You know, he became so excited that he discovered the truth. That Allah is in control, not the jinn. Not these evil powers which are there to test you. Out of excitement, he ran away to his Shaykh, to the monk. And he told him what happened. Immediately, his teacher said to him, my son, now you're much better than me. Because the word got around, oh, you know that little boy who just graduated from the high school? He's a good disbeliever, man. The guy, he announced on his Facebook page that he's an atheist. You know, he used the jinn, and the word got around that he can actually do all type of things, you know. But the boy knows that the one who helped him that day was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the jinn. So the teacher said to him, you're going to be tested big time. But now you have the chance to tell people about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah, the word got around. We're almost done here. Someone used to sit next to the king in his shura, in his council, who used to be blind. So the word got to the king that, oh, that little boy that the sorcerer trained, he succeeded in his first mission today, and the people are really impressed about him. And so this blind man learned that this boy could cure him. So he collected a lot of gold and silver and cash and money, and he went to the little boy. Look at this now, ya ikhwan. ما ها هنا لك أجمع إن أنت شفيتني. Young boy, all this money is for you if you cure me. If you restore my sight, my vision again. Look at da'wah now. Look at the difference between the people who call to shirk and the people who call to tawheed. Look at, listen, إني لا أشفي أحد. I don't cure nobody. ولكن الله يشفي. Allah is the one who cures. فإن أنت آمنت بالله. If you choose to believe in Allah, not that king. دعوت الله. I will call upon Allah. And if Allah wills, He will cure you. It's between you and Allah. That's هذه الدعوة. And that's the difference between the Shaykh, you know, who doesn't abuse. Some people, you know, some mashayikh now say, guys, I know the greatest name of Allah, by the way. I have access to the greatest name of Allah. Nobody knows the greatest name of Allah, but somebody told me in one of the masajid, the Shaykh is sitting. Okay, guys, you know, you want to know the greatest name of Allah? I know it, and you know this is the name that if you use when you ask Allah for anything, Allah will give it to you. So when you say that you have access to the greatest name of Allah, what are you calling people to do? Huh? Baraka Shaykh. That's my Shaykh, Baraka. That's shirk. Why من أتى عرافا? If you go to someone who claims that he knows the unseen and you believe him, you're no longer a believer. Why? Because you're supposed to believe who knows the unseen, who? Even if somebody accidentally told you something that happens to be true, this doesn't qualify him to be, knower of the unseen. Nobody does that. That's the difference here. Subhanallah, he made the dua, his vision was restored. Jalisul Malik, that's his name. So the following day he's going back to the king. Now he could see, Assalamu alaikum. The king was surprised. And he asked him, oh, you can see. What happened? Who restored your sight? He said, Allah. The king said, you mean me? Ataqsidu ana, you mean I? He said, Allah, my Lord and your Lord. Stop lying, man. Da'wah hadith. And by the way, the nations before us, they didn't have that license, that break. What is the break? That you could actually say, I don't believe, in order to protect your life. They didn't have that. You see that license, من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان, applies to us. That means if you are to die for Tawheed, you cannot pronounce Tawheed. You cannot give up Tawheed. You cannot say I disbelieve, unless if you disbelieve. So you will be willing to give up your life. Imagine he punished the guy so much until he told him who restored his sight was the dua of this young boy. This young boy did not use the jinn. So he cut him into two halves with a saw. Imagine. He fallen down like this. He didn't give up Tawheed. They brought the boy. He wanted to execute him right away. He said, no, you can't do that. This boy now, everybody in town think that he is the coming sorcerer. If you kill him like that, like we say, you're going to make a martyr out of him. So you got to design his death that it's natural. So he called upon some of his guards. By the way, they brought the Shaikh, and he was executed too. That's part of the hadith. But now it's the boy. Guards, take him to the top of the mountain, chained, and when you reach the hilltop, throw him. So he fallen down, that's accidental. Designed death. Orchestrated. So they took him to the top of the mountain, and this little boy raises his hand up. يا إخوة هذا الدعاء هذا. شوف, I love this dua. Allah, if there is somebody who's blotting out there to give you a hard time, and you don't know what they are doing, Wallahi, they're the best dua. Allahumma kfinihum bima shi'ta wa kayfa shi'ta. شوف هذا, leave it to Allah. Don't say, oh Allah killed them. No. Oh Allah, suffice me. Protect me from them any way that you want. It's up to you. The mountain shaked. Earthquake. Every one of them fallen dead. Except the boy. Guess what? The boy knows that he's in a mission. He want to save the whole ummah. So he walks back to the king. He said, you wanted to kill me? It's not going to work. He didn't run away. He knew that maybe his death could be the reason for the ummah to wake up. So the king became so angry and furious that his plan did not work. So he called upon other group of guards, take him to the sea now. Put him on a ship. فَعَرِّضُوا بِهِ. In the depth of the sea, throw him. He drowned. The same thing. He made the dua. Allahumma kfinihim bima shi't wa kayfa shi't. Oh Allah, protect me from them any way that you want and however you want. A storm erupted. The boat flipped. Everybody drowned. The boy actually walked in water, according to the hadith. Some of the wording. هذه يا إخوة كرامات هذه. But karama to somebody who was calling people to who? You know, Allah, believe in Allah, and this could happen to you. He's not using it to deceive people, to call people to his worship. So he went back to the king and said, listen, you're trying to get rid of me. If you want, you have to follow my plan. I want you to call all the people in one place. Da'wah now. And tie me to a trunk of a tree. And take one of the arrows, my arrows, and before you shoot that arrow, say with a loud voice, imagine the God now, the God will say what? Bismillah Rabbul Ghulam. I'm shooting this arrow in the name of Allah, the Lord of who? This is the God, supposedly be the God. In front of his what? His dummy, you know. You know, subhanAllah, that's where people sometimes just hated it. The boy died as a shaheed. Shahada, ikhwa. The shaheed is the only person who doesn't live in the grave. He leaves the dunya straight to who? Jannah. Imagine, close your eyes, you're sitting here in Atlantic City with the brothers who love one another for the sake of Allah. Imagine, open your eyes, oh, Jannah. You know, you're in Jannah. That's why, subhanAllah, the story of Abdullah ibn Haram, اللي هو والد جابر. Abdullah ibn Haram was killed in the battle of Uhud. And he had like 7 girls. So they came when they found out that their father was killed. They came crying and really feeling bad. The Prophet looked at Jabir and he said to him, Ya Jabir, tell your sisters, by Allah, no one Allah spoke to without a veil except your father. Of course, after he died. Kifahan. And he said to him, Ya Abdullah. Imagine this. He said to him, Ya Abdullah. Tamanna alay. Imagine this. Make a wish. Imagine it. He said to Abdullah, make a wish. What do you want? You know what Abdullah ibn Haram said? The father of Jabir. Ya Allah, I want to go back to the dunya to be killed again. Then to go back and to be killed again. And to go back and to be killed again. I want to experience that feeling over and over. Imagine you leave this dunya, close your eyes. Jannah. You know, imagine that feeling. Allah said to him, no, this one no, because Allah decreed that you don't come back to the dunya. It's not going to work. So, that's the shahada fi sabilillah. But the moment that this boy killed, every member of this community discovered that this king is lying to them all the time and there is a true God. They went down in prostration and each one of them said what? Amanna billahi rabbul ghulam. We believe in Allah, the Lord of this little boy. Imagine, ikhwan, that's the will of Allah. Wallahi, that's the will of Allah. Imagine a boy, the whole kingdom placed all the resources to produce a kafir out of him. He was the reason for the whole ummah to become Muslims. You never know. One of these children we cultivate in our Islamic schools will be that little boy. You never know. And it doesn't have to happen through martyrdom. It could happen through other things. You know. فالشاهد يا إخوة, the king became so furious, and here is the final scene in the story, and he decided to dig trenches and put these trenches on fire, and he would bring each member of this community and would give them the choice: you believe I'm your God or you're burned to death. No one of them giving up Tawheed. They would jump. Shahada. They would jump. They would not give up Tawheed. And look at this beautiful scene, which is at the very end of the story. A mother, and imagine a mother now, who had her baby infant Now, they took her infant away and they're about to throw her. So the mother looked back. Who's going to take care of my baby? You know, she actually considered compromising to be with her baby. Look, ya ikhwa, يثبت الله. That's where the tathbit, the steadfastness comes from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made her baby infant speak in the cradle. You know, the baby infant spoke to the mother. Ya ummah, my mother, uthbuti, be firm, فإنك على الحق. You are in the truth. Go. Brothers and sisters in Islam, it's a very entertaining story. And this story, by the way, explains a whole chapter towards the end of the Quran. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. Cursed the people who dug the trench. قُتِلَ يعني cursed. من قتل الإنسان لعن يعني لعن أصحاب الأخدود. النار ذات الوقود. When they made that fire, إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد. هكذا يا إخوة, this is the common challenge that we have. Wallahi, I'm very sorry to say this. A lot of us to enjoy America and to live in America. Listen, it's fun living here, I tell you. I mean, some of us actually, I kept living with that dream that I'm going to go back and live in. I went back there, wallahi, 1 month. I couldn't even handle it. I couldn't even live there. Somehow they systemize you here in a way that you can't just live but in America. But now the only issue here, a lot of Muslims, they offer their children as a qurbani to stay here. They know that their children are losing Islam. They know this, that they are compromising their religion. And that's where we need to wake up as a community, as parents, to get together, work out our differences. And I want to close here because you have to have dinner, but I want to give you some updates. You know, we're still at the stage of assessing the situation. You know, you need to allow me time. You know, jumping into conclusions and trying to, you know, it's going to take some time. And inshallah, I'm planning another visit on the 28th, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, by the end of this month. Hopefully, inshallah, but I'm still at that stage of assessing, meeting with people and talking to these parties. But the one thing which we decided to do is we have to support the existing body which is running the community. All parties have to give help to the board which was selected. They are the individuals who are actually running the community right now. We have to support them, we have to stand by them, inshallah. I said في خطبة الجمعة يا إخوة something which I will say again. You may come up with the best bylaws, the most eloquent, the most well-worded, but if the hearts are not ready to, you will always find a language to manipulate. And I use the example of the Quran. Imagine, Kalamullah can be manipulated. Kalamullah can be manipulated. Fox News, they use the verse, kill the infidels. Right? It's in the Quran, you can't deny it, but it's manipulated, it's taken out of context. So we need to go with a slower pace once it comes to that. And I see Brother Magdi there, in charge of the committee of the, that's what I advise, that we need to take our time regarding the bylaws and study what we wanted to do, meet with the people, meet with the parties, inshallah. But for now, to make this community function and work, we need to stand by the body which is the shura, which we have. Strengthen them, support them. They are not perfect. They're going to make mistakes. Why not help them? They need to start committees, inshallah, and all of this bi'idhnillah. I know a lot of you had concerns about the school. I heard a lot of concerns about the school. I have met with Brother Magdi today and the brothers who are in charge of operating the school and running the school, and we are contemplating some solutions, inshallah. Possibly bi'idhnillah ta'ala, we'll share it with you very soon bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Ya ikhwa, you're going to have to make the change. There is no such a thing that somebody is going to come from Colorado or Dr. Hassan is going to come from Vineland no, you will have to make the change. And remember the condition which Allah placed for us to see the change. What is? إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not change the condition of a community unless they change from within. You have to change from within. فإنشاءالله بإذن الله تعالى, let's have that spirit of optimism. Be optimistic. The believer is always optimistic. Insha'Allah, we're going to build on what we have and we're going to better it, and بإذن الله تعالى, it will be something that is promising. I always believed, I've been visiting this community for years, I always believed that there is potential in this community. And there is. But if we leave our differences aside, and I want to tell you, a lot of us are only looking down and they're afraid to lose what they have. But if you look up and see the bigger picture, wallahi, we're going to need more than the people who are in power to help us with that bigger picture. We can have a bigger picture for the ummah, and everyone can be in that picture, not just individuals. But these brothers need to look up to the bigger picture, not to look down and be afraid for what they have. They need to let go of that. Look up and be part of the bigger picture, inshallah. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm leaving tomorrow, and please forgive me if I've fallen short in disappointing you, but I need more time to assess the situation and work with the different brothers and have more meetings, and inshallah. But we're not gonna just sleep on this. We need to work with the existing body, the board that we have. You may have differences with them, so what? Have differences with them, but work with them. Help them out, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والحمد لله رب العالمين. So we have questions, inshallah, if we want to have. Sa'ata barakat.
I am the first one. Inshallah, I promise to work with those brothers. Those are in the shura. But are they ready to work with the community without any outside influence? And number two, who is in charge of? Who have to be, them? Because the community is confused. There are 2-3 brothers. Those are claiming that we have to contact with them or not with them, and also without any influence or outside influence. Are they ready to serve the community?
I have met with the shura last visit, and actually I will meet them again tonight after dinner. And I have told them bluntly and straightforward, Allah has placed you in that position to save this community, because this is the only body which is recognized here. We may disagree on adding or deleting or pasting, but this is the only body that is recognized in the community. And they did have some differences. They actually were at the verge of breaking, and we got them back. Alhamdulillah, they are working together. So far, I think there is more improvement, and that can happen. There is no harm, of them listening to the people. There is no, I mean, they should listen to you and listen to the other parties, but they are all grown-ups. The notion that they are being influenced or serving the interest of a particular group in the community, I mean, it's between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it shouldn't be there. And I tell it to them quite frankly, if listen, if you're in the business of making people happy with you when you work for communities, I'm telling you that's at chapter 1300%. Because the person who could praise you today, tomorrow he will get you. من أرضى الناس بسخط الله أسخط الله عليه الناس. والله هذا رأيتها بأم عيني. If you try to please people, هذا hadith. This is a hadith. If you try to please people at the expense of your amana, at the expense of your mission, at the expense what you're supposed to do to Allah, the same people you please, they're going to be angry with you. فهذه أمانة, and you can't be with them, Brother Imran, 24/7, can you? So you still have to remind them of the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they are there to serve the cause of the ummah. And they are not after pleasing this person or pleasing that person, because I want to tell you something, when you answer in the day of judgment to Allah, these people are not going to be around you. They're actually going to run away from you. So we remind them, and they are grown up, they are educated, and inshallah they will, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I met with them, and I have a lot of hope that this body, inshallah, will strengthen the community, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Yes, Brother Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Barakallahu fik, Shaykh. We took from your time, and we bring you here a lot of time in order to resolve our problem. The only thing I want to say is dua. To sing dua of the ghulam.
No, yes.
For the people who want to hurt this community. For the people who are running to do bad, to disperse us, to take us from our path. We have big goal. We have our kids. We lost already 30 years here for our kids. We don't want to lose more. The done is done. So we ask Allah, Allahumma kfina bima shi'ta, haynuma shi'ta.
Okay, for sure. And
may Allah take care of them. We can't do more than that.
and bring them to the ummah, inshallah. That will be more beneficial, inshallah. Inshallah, jazakallah khair, inshallah. Okay, I have a question here from the sisters. What is the difference between the soul and the spirit? I guess that's what the question. This is a subject, mashallah, that's very wealthy, and if you want to enjoy, I don't know if anybody translated the Ruh Ibn al-Qayyim. Was it? No, nobody translated it. Yeah, there is a book called the Ruh Ibn al-Qayyim if you're Arabic speaking, but I don't think it was translated. But they tell you in general, when the soul is in the body, it's called nafs. But when it is out, then it's called ruh. That's the common difference. And also they tell you when you purify your soul, meaning you implement the guidance, then you turn your soul into a ruh. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called the revelation ruh. وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ روحا من أمرنا نزل به الروح الأمين. So when you purify your nafs, you turn it into ruh. But when you leave it without purification, it stays as a nafs. Let's go gamble, let's go drink, let's go. That's where إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِسُوءٍ. Yani this is the most common, but it's a subject that's worthy of studying. Yes. Other questions? You guys are hungry for dinner. Yes, brother. Can you let us know your name?
My name is Numan Bhan.
Nu'man, it's the first time I meet you. Where you been, man?
Right here.
We need your help. Yes, Nu'man, go ahead.
Apparently we need your help as well.
Jazakallah.
So my question is very simple. what are the things or issues that you're gonna fix, right? There are a lot of issues. People are supposed to know what their issues are. I guess I haven't seen anybody in a while, a long time, so I don't know what the issues are. So can you just list us like 3-4 issues that you're going to help us fix for the community?
I think top of the line is working on the relationships. You see, if you don't fix that, I'm telling you, you're playing with the, is knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed you in this community to make a difference. And each one of us can make a difference, can contribute something. And don't think just about yourself and about what you have. Is the concept of brotherhood. We have to bring this back. Subhanallah, something I love about this community, look at the differences that we have. And that's why, that's the challenge. We have, look at the colors, look at the languages, look at the ethnic groups, and we're under one umbrella. And this is in itself, by the way, I tell you, is a sign of success. When you enter a masjid, and I'm not racial here at all, by the way, and you just see African American, only African American, that's a failing masjid in America. Unless if the whole community, the whole neighborhood is what? That's another issue. But we know that in America, all colors, all races, all ethnic groups exist. If you go to a masjid and you find only Pakistani or Egyptian, that's a failing masjid. Because that's the way it should be. Everybody must be here, a Muslim. Everybody who says La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And that's the challenge. So what you're going through is called a growing pain, but you're in the right position. Alhamdulillah, you have not turned into one ethnic group. You have not turned into one madhab. One madhab also. You have not turned into one color. You have not turned into one language. You have not. You're still keeping what? This community together. But now, sorting out these little differences is number one task. Number two, the school. You see, the school is the most important institution you have here. I'm telling you. And I know, listen, some of you have differences. Some of you have criticized the school. Some of you have talked about how it is handled. But please, this is a message from me. If you have some differences with the people who are running the school, don't go after the school. If you don't like Magdi, don't attack the school, because we need that school. It's shame that we still have only 50 students in the school. And it's been running for 6 years. There is something wrong. There is something wrong. And I was told that in the masjid, you cannot make an announcement for the school. What's going on here? There's something wrong. We need to fix that. This podium must promote Islamic education, because I'm telling you, you're sending your children like this little boy to learn sorcery every day. Number two, brother, on my list is the school. And I'm working with the brothers to better the school. Let's not just focus on, oh, he did that and he done that. We need to think about moving forward. What can we do to solve the problem? A Muslim should think this way. Inshallah, you're going to hear good news about the school. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Inshallah. This is number two. Number three is figuring out the bylaws. But we need time for this, because as I said, ya ikhwa, wallahi, I have seen this in multiple communities. We rush into bylaws. Meanwhile, there is no doubts and suspicions and, second guessing your brother still there. The moment that bylaws is there, big fitna happens. We have to prepare the brothers and the sisters for accepting whatever decision, because, any man-made thing is subject to, mistakes and all of this. These are the three top of the line. But the fourth, which is really now is an immediate, it's an action. In action, it's being executed, is working with the existing body to strengthen them and to solve their differences, because they had some differences. Some of them had some differences with one another. We put them back together and we're meeting with them, we're communicating with them, so they keep the community running until we figure out the rest of the things, inshallah. I think that's more than enough for me. If I could solve those, mashallah, yani, that would be nice, inshallah.
Are you anticipating to do all these 4 issues by 28? Or is it
No, my brother. No. I'm still actually at a stage of assessing the situation. You know, and I'm telling you, I'm not gonna come in and if this is your perception about me, I'm not gonna come in and force something on anybody here. I'm not gonna do this. I have enough enemies, alhamdulillah. You know, I'm just gonna work with the parties, discuss, and I'll let them know by experience, by evidence, that this is the way it should be done. Come on, let's call our common sense here, and hopefully, wallahi, I met with these brothers, wallahi, they are very reasonable. Wallahi, very reasonable. Yani, inshallah, I think everybody has a good intention. But sometimes good intention is not sufficient. You must pair this with the knowledge and the experience, inshallah. Dinner is getting served. Any other question? Yes. Oh, Dr. Jeffrey, and then you, inshallah.
First of all, thank you for coming over. Second, I personally, and I think like we all should be very ashamed that we at this stage that we could not resolve our issues together. We have outside influence to come and resolve the issue. Now, the community, a part of the community here, and this is the question to them also, that whatever the solution that you bring, with the help of Allah, are we ready and we accept as it is, or even after your solution, we are still in the same boat and fighting together again?
I guess that's a question to you, not to me. I think inshallah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I think, Dr. Jeffrey, the focus is to see the change in the ground. You can sit and talk about a theory, but what this theory has produced for the community. I think the community is more interested in seeing more activities in the masjid, in seeing more action in the school, in seeing a better education. They are more interested in this. They are not interested who is the board and who is in charge and who is this. No, they want to see change in the ground, and that's what we should focus on. And that's what we're going for. And the moment they see this, I tell you something. You know, the fitna in this ummah, which Umar described to be the door which got broken and never been fixed after that, started with who? With the assassination of Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu. So the people looked into this fitna and what happened to this community of believers who went as far as, the Roman Empire, and they collapsed Persia. What happened to them? Very interesting. Dr. Hassan يقول لك إيه? You see, with Umar, the Arabs were not familiar with the marine. So they got to the Mediterranean. They went all the way to Azerbaijan. So now between them and the land is the sea. So they didn't have this. So they thought the mission is over. So now, instead of going out there and being busy with spreading Islam more around the world, the money is coming in and they are sitting in Medina. Now, when you sit like this, fitna is going to be what? Well, they tell you the best way the imam can win a community is to keep them busy. Keep them busy. Okay, we got to do this and we got to do that. Likewise, the board. Abbad, the board. We got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this project, we got to do. You got to keep the community busy. If you keep them busy, they're going to be busy with that stuff. And if you don't, they're going to be busy with you. Wallahi, I tell you, wallahi, out of experience, they're going to be busy with you. Dr. Jeffrey, the community want to see a change in the ground. I don't think they're going to worry who's running it and who's here and who's signing that. And no, they don't. They just want to see that change. Brother? Sata Barakah.
You brought up your attention that school number of kids didn't increase honestly, we know that. We know that, and that's really hurt us. And in order to fix the school, we need to look at the cause effect. What happened to that school so the kids or the parents that don't bring their kids, or the number who gets in maybe equal the number who get out. So to fix the issue, to see the big picture as you said, maybe those parents who left, they need to be heard. What went wrong? Including the ones who are in the management or in the group who were there. So we need to be know there what happened to that, what's going on. So I believe that's a must.
Inshallah, bidnillah. Inshallah. We have a plan. We're working on a plan that will take care of a survey actually, and all of this will be done. It's a professional approach, you know, and you know, I want to let you know that the brothers who are managing the school, they know that they are not educators. They know that. And inshallah, there will be improvements. Just make dua, inshallah. We need your dua, inshallah. Okay, dinner is getting cold. Huh? Or you guys want to eat me or what? Jazakum Allahu khaira. Please forgive me. Please forgive me if I have fallen short in any way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, bring an affection amongst your hearts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tawfiq, can you send